And we are recording. Welcome everyone. This is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by pt3 Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay what you want tabletop RPG where you get to play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find that in their website. The link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. In fact, we have Miguel here, one of the masterminds of the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. And they have the Micro Red category of games. They are ready to play, pick up and play tabletop RPGs with their settings and a streamlined version of the Red system. Definitely check it out. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment as well. So today we once again have Josh and Miguel. We are going to continue the Secrets of the Ancients Traveler 2nd Edition campaign. Now, before we get started, this is going to be a bit like a general question. Josh, Miguel, do you have? By the way, Miguel, if you can you switch your names
Oh
like
yeah.
Judy? Oh yeah, well, like what the character Miguel and Judy. What do you think in general about this mystery? Do you have some general theories about why did Glenn get killed and how is he related to Ben Jashan? And what about the ancients? Do you have any theories before we get started?
I think that he probably. My assumption is he got mixed up and found out a little bit too much, maybe about the ancients. Maybe he came across a treasure trove of some of their stuff. Apparently, since it's worth so much, and then was taken out. Maybe he was in the middle of a deal. It's hard to say. It could
Mm-hmm.
truly be anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
What do you think, Miguel?
I agree with that. Yeah, uh, he must have he must have found out something. Maybe found some of those relics, perhaps CDs or videotapes, VHS tapes from the ancients. I don't know who the ancients are. I'm just kidding.
They are a mystery, but yeah,
Maybe
this
we
is
are the ancients.
Traveler. It's possible they had ancient CDs or records. Who knows? hmm And for anyone that hasn't seen the other parts, definitely please check out the playlist. You will see the beginning of the campaign there. And so it begins. The gates open, allowing access to the inner garden of Professor Ujinka's mansion. Odoi turns to look at you and speaks. Well, we still don't know if Ujinka is a friend or a foe, so better keep your hand close to your weapon of choice.
Agreed. Agreed. I shoulder my large duffel bag, bearing its weight against my side as I proceed forward into the gates.
Odoi moves down a road made out of various colored stones, and in just a few moments, you reach the mansion itself, a two-story building, almost decorated like those very ancient temples of old earth in Greece. The wooden double doors are closed, although he looks at you and mentions, I was expecting that the doors would be open. Should I just knock on the doors, or what do you think?
Why should they be open?
Well, these folks living here in Dancado, they usually have automatic systems.
Oh, okay.
I would have expected them, and as he is speaking, the doors open, and a robot, an android dressed as a butler, speaks. Be most welcome. Professor Ojinka is expecting you in the meeting room upstairs.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So he's expecting us after all.
Follow me. Without waiting, the robot begins a slow but steady movement into the mansion.
I follow him.
As you enter the building, you see a highly elegant entranceway hall dominated by a grand double staircase leading upwards. The furniture is composed of wood, plastic, and steel with excellent designs, ergonomic designs, and there are also many unopened wooden boxes and crates that you would expect to see in an archaeological expedition. You notice all of this as the robot goes up. Odoy turns to look at both of you and says, I don't know if I'm entering a rich guy's or rich lady's house in this case, or perhaps a warehouse with too much of a budget to spend,
Museum.
like a museum exactly.
Definitely seems like a game for a young man to get involved with. Wouldn't have had to work so hard these days.
As Odoy follows the robot and walks alongside you up the stairs, he mentions, I've heard some strange things about this Ojinka professor. People say that she's exceptional at keeping her youth. As I understand it, she should be about 97 years old, but she's still kicking it.
Well, I guess money can buy you anything, huh?
That's true. You are led by the robot across a long hallway. There are doors on each side, two doors on the right, two doors on the left, and at the very end, an elegant looking metallic door. And it has been carved with images of what appear to be droid, but the symmetry, the proportions of the droid, they look highly stylized, beautiful in comparison to the actual droids. Odoy comments, well, I don't know about that alien species, but for winged humanoids, I think they are depicted even better than my own body.
Yeah, all my years floating around out this area, I don't know a whole lot about them, to be honest.
I've only worked with them a couple of times. They are able to fly around a bit, but they're a bit too curious for my taste. Sometimes they can get you into trouble. The robot butler opens the door, and a large conference room is revealed with a table big enough for at least 8 people to be seated comfortably. There is an old woman at the far end of the table. Her long white hair looks luscious and alive, and despite her wrinkles, her eyes add a touch of vibrancy to her general demeanor. Without standing up, she speaks. Be most welcome. I would stand up and welcome you, but my ankles have been a bit sore lately. Please, have a seat. My butler will assist you.
Thank you, thank you. I walked to a chair fairly close to her while looking at the wall behind her.
The room has a few murals depicting scenes of beautiful looking drawing individuals, creating ships, looking at cities, and even flying spaceships. The professor continues. I am Yaros Ujinka. You must be perhaps. Are you hungry or thirsty? I could arrange for my butler to bring you milk and cookies. How does that sound?
You have anything a little stronger? It's been a long day.
Oh no, I avoid alcohol. That's one of the secrets of staying alive for long.
I see. I
Oh,
see.
that's a shame. I'm going to have a shorter lifespan than I wanted.
Oh, that is a
Well,
shame. But that is up to you. Everybody should live the life as they want.
This is true.
The butler bows and takes a leave, leaves the room. The professor speaks. Ah, so you have Mr. Smith, right? She looks at Odoy. Yes, correct. And Mr. Faust and Sarkov. I want to express my deepest condolences. I can't believe Vlen has left us.
true. It was a shock for us as well.
Do you know how it happened?
Well, kind of. The reports are dubious, at least.
Oh no. Do tell me more. We were such good friends.
We were hoping you could enlighten us.
Yeah,
We did.
actually,
I guess we have
okay.
a small idea of how it happened, but we have no clue of why it would have happened. Poor Uncle Vlin. I mean, I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to murder him.
He was murdered. Oh, oh. I thought I thought that he had died of natural causes. That's horrible. Well, we
So you
did
know even less than us, I guess.
perhaps, but if I can't provide any information to find the killer, I will do whatever is possible. But I can't think why would someone would want to kill Glenn. Let me elaborate a bit more. I am of the Archaeology and History Department in the University of Regina. Especially, I study the civilization of the ancients. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Not at all.
The ancients are supposed to resemble the drawing in many ways, but many consider the drawing, those that study the ancients, they would think of the current drawing as an imperfect, much diluted, mutated version of the old ancient drawings. Do you know if Glenn did he tell you anything about the ancients or something about his profession or trade related to the ancients civilization?
Not that I can remember, at least.
I was really thankful to Glenn. I fell from grace by trying to push forward a research project in the planet Inth. And somebody said that I was helping thieves getting to the archaeological site. It was terrible, but Glenn was always supremely interested in my research of the ancients.
It's pretty interesting.
So, did you have any meetings with him lately?
No, it was only 2 months. 2 months back we had our last meeting. That's why I wanted to speak to him. So it was really surprising to know that you were suddenly the inheritors of dear Glenn Beckett. And the ancients, they people are always mocking us for studying them. They say we're looking at fairy tales. although he suddenly interrupts. By the way, Professor Ojinka, I mean no disrespect, but do you know about the criminal Ben Yasha? Ben Yasha, I've only heard a little about him. Why would you ask about if I know him? Although he continues. Well, I just find it very curious that he's supposed to be dealing in contraband and smuggling artifacts of the ancients. The professor speaks. Ah, uh, you are not implying that I am helping him, are you? Although he replies, no, I was just curious. Like I said, we are very curious about the whole Glenn Beckett murder. Isn't that right, Trenton, Yuri?
Yes.
It's just a complete puzzle. Nothing seems to really be adding up. Even the local authorities couldn't really come up with too much information with us.
And it gets
Well,
even stranger.
now that you mention the authorities, Glenn, recently during our last meeting, he was constantly mentioning things of searching for routes and ways to stay out of the authorities' perception, so to speak. You see, I found this diary, and the diary used to belong to a traveler, but apparently he died under mysterious circumstances, as if he was affected by some sort of radiation. The diary mentioned that the traveler had found a way to tap into ancient recordings and messages floating in space straight from the ancients. Do you know anything about that?
Nope.
Not when I'm sober, at least. That sounds like some interesting party tricks.
And by any chance, did you find any strange radiation during your travels? Something that was not possible to be measured with the standard instruments of your ship or devices?
We've
Something
met
odd?
something strange. Yes. I'm not sure
You
about.
did?
We did when we were arriving at the planet.
What did you find?
A wreckage.
A wreckage. Radiated wreckage. I have heard of some of those cases, and it makes sense. In the diary, the traveler mentioned this radiation as he was picking up a signal in the G band, if I understand it. The message was cryptic. It mentioned something about ancient sites and aeons old war between the ancients.
We also found something else. I take a moment and lean forward and point to the wall behind her. We found one of those fellas right there.
Ah, but do you mean a drawing? A drawing from our current times, correct?
Of
Because if you
course.
found an ancient drawing, it would be like incredible. But that's very curious. But was it? What did the drawing tell you?
Apparently, not to get too close. He was just floating in space when we got across to him.
A drawing floating in space. Was he alive or dead?
Yuri? Is he?
Death.
He's very dead.
Ah,
Everyone seems to be coming up dead lately.
Yeah. Lots of dead bodies.
although he speaks. That's, you see, Professor Ojinka, that's what we're trying to find out. We have the call us paranoid, but there is certainly too much death going around this business with the ancients and potentially perhaps Ben Jasha's business. The professor continues. Well, the only thing that I could think about is that Glenn mentioned that he had the ways, perhaps the technology or the method, he wasn't too clear about that, on tapping into these ancient messages floating in space and even locating the sites of various ancient cities. The ancients had cities and bases and bunkers all over our universe. So if we could find a way to tap into those messages, into those forgotten frequencies, perhaps we could identify those sites and obtain their artifacts or more knowledge about that. What do you think?
Sounds like a gold mine for somebody that was into being a space DJ.
Ah, that makes sense. Glenn also was very enthusiastic about funding the entire thing. My
Oh,
research.
old Uncle Glenn, huh?
Was he?
He
That's
never
strange.
struck me as a wealthy man. Do any of
No.
you know if he had like a secret stash or something?
If he had it, we don't know about it. We haven't inherited, definitely.
Although he speaks, almost slamming his hand on the table. You mean he didn't left you anything?
We left us something, but not a fortune.
Professor Jinka, that is very interesting. So you think that perhaps Glenn, do you think that perhaps he could have been targeted because he was interested in tapping into those messages? Professor Jinka replies, oh no, it's terrible. It could have been. I'm feeling guilty now. I was pushing Glenn to help me with my research.
Well, was there anybody else that you had mentioned this particular line of research to?
No, no, not at all.
Hmm.
But I do remember that a couple of times during our various meetings, Glenn was interrupted by this man. Oh my gosh, very sneaky, shady looking individual. He was very thin and he had red hair.
You
Oh,
don't say.
the red-headed man.
Although he speaks, Professor Ujinka, we have seen that red-headed man. In fact, we saw him just before Glenn's passing. Oh no, are you saying that he could be the killer? Is that what you people are saying?
Anything's possible.
It could be him, or someone working for him.
Well, I have right here. The professor presses a button on the table, and a holographic projection of a planet is displayed. Here is the planet Inthe. I have my assistant working in that planet, and I was hoping that perhaps we could continue discovering the mysteries of the ancients in that planet. Are you willing to help me with this endeavor?
Mm.
I wasn't
Well,
planning on that.
yeah, we've got, unfortunately, we still have to deliver poor Glenn's body to Al. So that's the top of our list at this point. We're just trying to track down whoever did it while we were here to take care of that scenario.
Alel, yes, that is too far away. Inthe is not. As the professor speaks, the holographic table goes off, and the various electronic devices, even the ones that you are carrying, make sounds of losing power, of getting turned off. Even Odoy looks at his jacket, takes a look at his device in a side pocket, and speaks. That's strange. I'm sure I recharged this thing.
I push out from the table, knocking my chair to the floor, and draw my revolver as I'm gonna make my way up against the wall.
Professor Odoy gets up, revealing a cane. This doesn't make sense. Why is the power out? And Mr. Faust, why are you doing that?
Just stay seated, man. Stay seated. It's for your safety.
But I need to make some adjustments to the security system. Let me just, as she speaks, the window is broken as a bullet goes in and goes straight into the head of the professor. And she falls down, dead. A crash is heard in the lower floors, and many metallic sounds of heavy objects falling down. That sound is heard throughout the entire mansion and even outside of the mansion. And Odoy mimics Faust, pulls out his gun, and drops to the floor. Well, you had the right idea, Faust. I am sorry that we had to see the professor die. If only we could have reacted sooner.
I take my pistol as well.
This thing is not working.
Oh,
All of the Gauss weaponry
okay.
stops working.
Gauss.
I cautiously make my way to the window.
I look at my laser pistol.
Yuri realizes that with some time, he could be able to restart the mechanism for the laser pistol.
Okay.
Trenton notices that all of the droids and drones of the property are down, prone, without motion, as if deactivated completely. Although he speaks. Well, I guess it's safe to say that someone wanted the professor dead, but I also wonder, do they want us dead as well?
I wouldn't be surprised by that at this point.
A loud stomp was heard in the distance. It sounds like someone is inside the mansion.
I look out the window down towards the ground.
Trenton can see nothing in particular. Everything is silent. Trenton must make the relevant characteristic roll with Reckon.
Seven.
And he can hear nothing in particular either.
Is it clear?
Everything's clear, Yuri.
Okay, good.
Of course, with that shot, maybe we should avoid the windows.
Yuri has managed to reactivate his weapon.
Okay, it's working again.
Oh, you're a genius, Mr. Sarkov, but not all of us are as savvy in technology, so I'm pulling out my knife.
Do I
All
hear
right.
any sound from below or around?
Well, I don't know. You better pay close attention and try
Okay,
to
yes,
listen.
but I try to listen to noises
Yuri
inside the house.
must roll the relevant characteristic plus Reckon. Any characteristic of your choosing plus Reckon that applies to the situation.
So I rolled a 7.
Yuri can hear nothing in particular. And Odoy speaks. This has me a bit worried. I wonder if they can do that constantly, if they can constantly deactivate our technology.
Yes, it happened before, right? Several times.
But I've never heard of something of this magnitude. Odoy stands up slightly and looks outside of the window. All of those androids are just lying there. The range of this device that they used or whatever it is, I hope it's not psionics. I am terrified about those things, but whatever it is, they managed to take down everything electronic in the vicinity.
Shouldn't this be some kind of EMP device or something?
That's my first guess, but I've never seen something that's so fast and of this magnitude. And the professor obviously had security measures, so this makes no sense.
I quickly look out the window again, judging how safe it would be if I leapt to the ground from where we're at.
Trenton realizes that the two-story fall would cause some damage, but not enough to kill the person. But the person would need to be highly athletic to survive.
All right, Yuri, if you want to sweep through here, I'm going to try to charge out towards the front of the window and see what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Heavy footsteps are heard running towards the room you are currently in. Everybody must roll initiative. It's a dexterity check or intelligence check, the stat of your choice.
I rolled a 10.
7.
You immediately realize that whoever is running towards you is not as fast as you, as Yuri is able to act now.
I look around searching for cover.
Yuri can find the perfect spot next to the table and chairs. The metallic table and the chair provides the necessary cover.
I take cover and I point the pistol at the door.
And now Trenton can act.
I kneel down in front of the window, aiming at the door in front of me.
Odoy mimics Yuri. All right, get ready, and points the gun at the door. The door opens, and two individuals dressed in combat dressing go inside. Their weapons, their gauze firearms, fully functional. But Yuri can act now.
I shoot the one ahead.
Make the roll.
I rolled a 9.
The shot is successful. Roll damage.
Mm. 11.
The powerful blast goes right through the individual's left shoulder. The protective gear lessening the attack, but drawing out a yelp "Oop!" from the attacker. And now Trenton can take action.
I quickly spring to my feet and train my revolver on the face of the closest individual, and I pull the trigger twice, letting the hammer fall.
Roll attack.
9.
Roll damage.
It's 12.
Due to obvious enhanced reflexes, the individual is able to move out of the way, but not so much, as the blast leaves a horrible scar across the head of the individual. The diadem, the headpiece that provided some measure of protection, completely destroyed as blood falls down the left side of the individual's face. And now, with a clear glimpse of both individuals, you realize that they are the two heavily muscled men that you saw in the recording that went with the red-headed man before Glenn got killed. With a yell, the attacker says, "Ah, screw this!" And Odoi says, "Not before I get a piece of you." Odoi hesitates for a moment, trying to shoot his gun. "Blast it! I forgot about that!" And throws the knife clumsily at the attacker. The knife goes into the left hand. Ah! Blood pouring out of the wound. The attacker sprays fire clumsily at your position while running backwards. "Screw this!" Being able to hit Yuri, but the cover provides enough protection to the point that only 3 points of damage, part of the attack, goes into Yuri's body, into endurance, or in another characteristic of his choice. The spray of bullets also threatened Trenton, but the bullets do not score. More of the shots go into Odoi's position, scoring a hit behind, even though he is behind cover. But the damage was not enough. Odoi is safe behind cover. The attacker goes back. The other attacker remains, spraying bullets, backing away, but not as much as his companion that is making a full run. "Damn it, we haven't finished the job!" And he attacks once more, missing Yuri completely. Trenton is not so lucky, as the bullets graze his ribs, dealing 6 points of damage. The rest of the bullets miss Odoi, but Odoi stumbles backwards clumsily, desperately crawling for a chair to get behind. And now Yuri can take action.
I'll shoot again at the guy that is still there.
Yuri hesitates by saying, "I will."
I
Shoots with a Bane. 3 dice. Discard the highest.
do 7.
The shot misses. Trenton can take action.
Damn it. Grab my ribs as I jolt to the side, moving forward, firing off one more shot, and reaching down towards my duffel bag.
Roll with a boon. 3 dice. Discard the lowest, but you have a -2 penalty to the roll.
Eight.
The shot reaches its mark. The protective gear lessens the blow, but there is blood pouring out of the right side of the individual's ribs. Odoi spends his action looking around for something and proceeds to pick up a chair. The attacker runs backwards, spraying bullets clumsily in your direction. missing Yuri, missing Trenton, and missing Odoi. The individual goes into a full sprint down the corridor, and now Yuri can take action.
I shoot at him.
Yuri must roll with a bait as the individual is too far away and at a weird angle due to the hallway. 3 dice, discard the highest.
8.
It is a successful hit. Roll damage.
15.
You can hear a scream as the individual falls down. Oh! Trenton can take action.
I remove a spherical object from my duffel bag and lob the smoke grenade, arching it against the wall to bounce it into the hallway where the gentlemen are running.
Roll attack. Normal attack.
9.
It is successful, and the hallway is filled with smoke. And Odoi speaks. Go ahead, I'll follow you. I'm at a disadvantage. I only have this chair to defend myself.
Oh, I have another weapon in my bag.
Does it work?
I hope so. I
What is
open
it?
the bag. I open the bag and search for my. I have a rifle. It's also a laser rifle, so I look at it.
It is not working.
I try to restart it.
Yuri realizes that he needs a minute at least to restart the rifle.
I hand it over to. After I finish, I hand it over to the other guy.
Although it takes it notices that Yuri is taking some time fixing the rifle. There is no time. We must hurry. What if they escape? And he rushes into the hallway with the chair. The initiative sequence is over.
These stupid bastards. So I pull my goggles out and put them on. I'll be right back, gentlemen. And I go into the cloud of smoke looking for their heat signatures.
Trenton can see Odoi clumsily making his way, not making too much progress through the hallway as he holds the chair in front as a sort of shield. But Trenton can see a figure leaving a trail of blood crawling towards the stairs.
I place my revolver back on my side and draw my blade and proceed to close in on the escaping victim.
While this happens, Yuri is still in the room.
I'm going out, but slowly, checking if I can see anything in the smoke.
Due to the trail left behind by Trenton and Odoi, it is easy enough for Yuri to safely make his way into the smoke. And he also notices the trail of blood on the ground, on the floor. As Trenton approaches the individual, he turns back, and on his back, he is prone on his back and speaks. Wait, hold on. I have something to tell you that is of interest to you if you spare my life.
But of course, I immediately drop down to my knees and drive my blade into the side of his leg.
Oh, no. Please.
Let's not carry this out. Who did it? I start twisting the blade. Who killed him?
Who did what?
Glenn Beckett. Who killed him?
I I'm not sure if he's certainly. Somebody certainly wanted him dead, but I didn't kill him. My guess is that Harlan did it. All right.
Where's your partner going? I proceed to drag the knife further into his leg.
Oh. The individual almost passes out from the pain, but manages to get a hold of himself. He's probably running away because Ben Jasha doesn't forgive those that fail him. We only had orders to kill to kill Professor Ujinka and any witnesses, but now that we have failed, he's probably going to chase us to the ends of the galaxy.
Adoy, Yuri. Adoy,
Odoy reaches Trenton.
go ahead and take care of this guy. See what you can get out of him. Me and Yuri are going to see if we can track this other bastard down.
All right, leave it to me. Do you mind? No, do you mind giving me a weapon?
I'm just going to tap on the knife. Have at it.
All right, just I'll take care of it. Go, catch him before he escapes.
I grab
Yuri and
Yuri by the
Trenton.
shoulder and begin to sprint down the corridor looking for the individual. Any signs of where he may have turned a corner or knocked anything over.
Trenton can easily see that the front doors from the upper floor, he can see the front doors completely open and a small trail of blood leading outside.
I
Are you
quickly
going up?
sprint towards the front doors.
Okay, I follow you.
As Yuri tells Trenton that he is following him, they make it outside of the mansion. And the individual is nowhere to be seen but the police car that was following you before reaching the mansion is seen in the distance speeding away with great celerity as if rushing somewhere.
Well, I'll be damned. Were they the ones following us? What do you think?
Yeah, very likely.
Jesus. I take a moment just to survey my surroundings and just think for a moment, make sure that's where I'm assuming that he lit was the car.
Trenton must roll intellect and reckon. Intellect and reckon.
5.
Trenton has no clue. He notices nothing of importance. And both Trenton and Yuri can hear Odoy yelling from upstairs. Hey, you might want to come over here. This guy over here has an interesting proposal.
Okay.
On our way.
As you make your way upstairs, you see Odoy clumsily trying to apply a piece of cloth on the one of the wounds. And he speaks. So this man, Martinson, according to him, that's his name. He is telling us that he has very valuable information concerning everything that has been going on. If we spare his life and let him run away, escape, as he says that Ben Jasha is going to chase him down and kill him.
Do you trust him?
No, of course not,
Oh.
but we can find out if he's telling the truth or not. We could match up his information with what we have. And he looks at the individual. And if you say something that we discover is a lie, we're going to kill you right now.
No,
The
I like
man
the
looks
sound of
nervous.
that.
And looks at Trenton and Yuri. Can you at the very least stop this wound from bleeding? I won't have the strength to talk otherwise.
I'm going to take a look at that. Well, first I fetch the medkit.
I take a moment and just
Yuri
pat the gentleman down.
realizes that he is able to stop the bleeding. Must make a roll with the relevant characteristic and skill.
11.
The man is patched up, and although using the knife, pointing it at the neck. Now speak! Speak and don't hold back any details. The man talks. Oh, okay, this is nothing personal. I just want you to know that for starters, I didn't kill the old woman. That was my partner. But we have been working for Ben Yasha for 15 years. But we've never seen his face, mind you. We're not that close. We've only talked to Ben Yasha through his second in command, or at least his most trustworthy emissary, Harlan.
Har-
And although he speaks, is Harlan the red-headed man? Yes, he's pretty noticeable to his red hair. He never wears a helmet or any headpiece, and he's always combing his hair. That's one of his quirks, I imagine. We were given a few tasks. We were also told to keep an eye on Glenn Beckett before he got killed. Although he speaks. Why? Why would he want to keep an eye on Glenn Beckett? Trent and Yuri, if you want to ask questions to this guy, go ahead.
Who killed him? Was it you?
No, no, it definitely wasn't me nor my partner. We didn't do anything to Glenn. We didn't try to. The only thing that we did that I found very suspicious, I was sent to buy Tusal the night of Glenn's murder. I was sent to buy a significant amount of the drug. I wonder why. I got it straight from Darian Jack. He's the provider, the one that most people go to for Tusal. And I just went back into the Travelers Aid Society hostel and gave Harlan the Tusal. And then he went into the room. He did the job, I imagine, as the only ones in the room were Harlan and Glenn. The deed was done and he came out.
So where were you and your partner when that happened?
I was just outside the room. The security footage probably caught us. We were just there to pretend to be the escorts of Harlan, as if he was some sort of rich guy, and we were there for security purposes.
So you were there pretty much the whole time and still don't know who did it.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't see it happen, but just as a lucky guess, Harlan and Glenn were the only ones in the room. Unless there was some sort of secret passageway or hatchway, trapdoor that they don't know about. But they were the only ones. It must have been Harlan. I did notice something when Harlan stepped outside. And take it because this is out of the kindness of my heart. I know that you are merciful people, and will allow me to escape with my life. I noticed that Harlan had a statuette and some sort of disc when he left the room. Although he speaks. A statuette? But a statuette of what? Did it look like a drawing? We have been seeing so many images of drawings. The man responds, I don't think it was a drawing. It was very strange statue. I really can't remember it. It was very abstract.
What was the other object besides the statuette?
It looked like a data disk of some sort. But the case was cracked. It was cracked and it looked a bit dusty, if I do say so. It looks a bit dirty, a bit scummy. Although he speaks. Hey, aren't you forgetting an important detail, pal? Were you the one responsible for the devices suddenly going off, not working, that they were out of power, out of... We couldn't activate anything? The attacker replies. Well, that's some weird artifacts that Harlan gave to us. They're probably of those the people, what do they call it? The old ones? Although I replace the ancients. Yeah, the ancients. My partner was giving this strange device. It looks like some sort of thick disc, and you just hold your finger less than an inch from its center, and every technological device around you goes out of commission. Deactivates everything, and in a big radius too. The interesting thing is that a piece of it is broken off. Every time you activate it, it like a flake of it falls off. Very strange, if I do say so.
So it's your partner who has it, not you.
Yes, I was not trusted with those artifacts. I am a bit clumsy when handling such things.
I squat down in front of him and take my goggles off. Adoy, knife, please.
Although he hands the knife to Trenton.
I'm very curious how convincing you can be. I
But
want you
told
to get your. Oh, of course, you told us everything. That's fine. But you did let your partner get away. You helped it. I want you to
But
get
I
on
was just
comms and
doing my
tell them
job.
that you killed us all. You did the job, and that you need an out. You need a way to get out of here. And if you can convince them, we won't finish the job.
Yes, let me contact him.
Fair enough.
I'm just reaching for a comm device. And Adoy speaks. You better be, or you're going to be dead. You have three very angry men looking at you right now. He reaches into his side pocket, produces a comms device, taps a few numbers, and speaks. He's not picking up. Wait, he's answering. Hello? 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 Hey, you idiot, hello? They hang up. They hung up.
I imagine so. Well, Yuri, what do you want to do about this?
Well, he probably doesn't know anything else.
Yes, I told you everything, please.
Stupid.
I guess there's 50-50 chance that he could have killed Glenn, though.
Yeah.
Still a
No,
possibility.
wait. I'll try to help you. This could be unrelated, but do you know Startown? Startown. You both remember that Startown is an area on the other side of Regina, opposed to Dancado.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I used to meet with Harlan there. It's a point where I talk to him. He sometimes also works with a Dandelion, that alien species. You know, some people have not seen them. They have like 5 appendages that they used to move around, and they have this huge bulbous head. They look like walking plants. And sometimes either Harlan or this Dandelion by the name of Exceedingly Discreet, that is his title, they always use those titles. He sometimes gave us orders for various jobs.
It's a good bit of information, but I don't think anybody's going to willingly talk to any of us here.
Yeah.
I'm
You, on
going
the
out
other
of my
hand,
way with this. But if you approach the main winter shipping office and mention the password 17 tons of flax, you will be taken to exceedingly discreet and you could perhaps get more information.
well, if all this is true, I guess you've been somewhat useful. Adoy,
It pains me to. I will leave the decision to you, but I have to be honest. I usually don't have mercy with these sorts of individuals. No, no, please, I was very helpful. This was all a job. I was very professional about it.
do you still have your cuffs on you, Adoy?
Yes, in fact, as a matter of fact, I always carry cuffs with me.
Well, I'll let you
No,
two
wait.
think.
If you just leave me here captured, I am surely a dead man. Ben Jasha, I need to get out of Regina as fast as possible.
I proceed into that other room to retrieve my duffel bag.
And so it is done. In fact, if you let me go, who knows? Maybe one day I will be able to help you in these times. You never know when jobs, professions, and trades may cross. Perhaps I could be of help.
I don't know. I doubt that, but well, I'm a doctor. I don't kill people, so
Fair
up
enough.
to you.
I retrieve a needle from my duffel bag and inject him in the leg with fast so that he'll slowly drop and fade out, sleeping. All right, Joy, let's cuff him and just take him with us, and we'll decide on the way. How about that?
Yeah,
Yes,
sounds
that
good.
sounds like a reasonable choice.
Something tells me he still may be useful in the long run.
Yeah, might be.
And I have to say, Mr. Faust and Mr. Sarkov, you are very skilled. You are both incredibly good at handling this situation.
You did
Now,
quite well yourself.
any of you gentlemen need some medical attention?
No, thankfully, I got hit, but it wasn't enough to get through to my frail old body.
Okay.
Although speaks, are you sure you don't need first aid?
No, no, no. I'm fine.
I'm fine as well. We should proceed.
Then let's go.
As you make your way through the mansion, you can hear all of the devices turning on, even your own devices and weapons. Although he speaks. So it looks like it's a temporary effect, huh?
Yeah, it's super convenient, though. They definitely came across a good piece of tech.
I was wondering because I was not sure if they were draining the energy or if they were just like interrupting the signal or something like that.
I would assume they're doing some type of signal disruption, but I could be wrong. It's above my pay grade.
Yeah,
Yes,
not
well,
my,
we
not my specialty.
might as well take this guy to my car.
Yeah, let me grab his feet.
And so Trenton and Odoy are transporting the attacker while Yuri is walking alongside them. Although he speaks as you're transporting the body. Why did you think his partner left?
Oh, I'm sure he assumes that he's done at this point. I would think.
Maybe that's the reason why he didn't answer the phone.
Probably assumed we have captured him or something.
Although he pauses for a moment and then continues walking. I was also thinking, do you think that he was intercepted by that police car?
Well,
Mm.
I don't know about that one. I highly doubt that. If anything, I assume he may have been driven here, and I could be completely wrong though. Either way, at this point, he could be dead. I don't know. I thought I hit him pretty good, and it looked like you guys put a couple of rounds into him. That could be reason for him not answering as well.
That is true. Because that car was following us a few moments back. Did you see it again?
I did. Yeah, the same vehicle.
Ah, you reach the vehicle. Odoy opens the trunk and, with Trenton's help, puts the attacker in the trunk and closes it. Well, that's done, gentlemen. Where should we go now?
Hmm. Yuri, I gotta be honest. I'm halfway tempted just to take him back to the ship. I don't know at this point. What do you think? I guess that one place is fairly close to here.
Um, yeah, we can do that. I think. Yeah.
Well, whatever you choose to do, gentlemen, I would advise not taking me to Startown because I've been doing a lot of investigations in Startown. It is a den of criminals. It is actually considered outside the jurisdiction of Regina. So all sorts of activities, illegal activities, are carried out there. And they know my face well, and they know some of my methods. So I will only be hampering your investigation if you want to look into this matter of the exceedingly discreet uh, alien guy.
Hmm. I'm
So,
at a loss here.
yeah. Do you want to try and meet that alien dude? That would probably be dangerous.
Yeah, especially when we got Homeboy's body in the trunk. What do you think? Would you like to get another look at Vlyn, maybe? Would
Mm.
that even help us anyway?
Well, I don't think so, but why not? We can try that as well.
You realize it is currently 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Although he speaks. If you are planning to go back to your ship, you definitely want to make it to the port as fast as possible. Sometimes it gets crowded at this time. But if you want to get to Startown, it is also a great moment to do so, as a lot of people are carrying out their own business, their own work, their jobs. So it is somewhat easy to go into Startown somewhat unnoticed.
About how far is the port from here?
The port should be about an hour and a half. But Startown, considering the activity, 2 hours. I could get us there 2 hours, but like I said, I'm not entering the place.
So you leave us there, and
Wherever you want me to leave you, I could drop you at the port so that you can go back to your ship, or I could take you to the Startown. I could also, if you want, I can actually deliver this guy to the Regina authorities. We have more than enough evidence that this man attacked us, and they can verify by visiting poor Professor Jinka's house and recovering her corpse.
Well, Captain Yuri, I look to you, sir. I'm kind of leaning towards going back to the ship, but honestly, after all this action, I'm kind of hyped up. I wouldn't mind going to the starport and maybe finding some illegal activities of my own.
Okay, let's let's go to Starport.
Fair enough. Well, where can we meet up at?
I would say that, well, you have my contact information. But if there is any trouble, we can meet just at the entrance of Starport. I will leave you in the exact place where the city connects with Startown.
That's fair enough. Let me just throw my duffel bag into the trunk if you wouldn't mind hitting it for me.
Yes, of course.
All right. I proceed to place my duffel bag into the trunk, and I look up just to make sure no one's looking. And I finish the job, slit the man's throat, and close the trunk. All right, fellas, let's go get something fun for the day and figure out what else we can get into.
Yes. Are you well equipped? Do you have ammunition yet in your for your weapons?
Ah, damn. That shows you I'm getting old. I reload my revolver.
Excellent. So off we go, gentlemen. Although proceeds to drive, following the same road that you used to enter Dancado. He takes you back into the main city, and after the estimated time, he stops before a section of the city that looks less technologically advanced. He points towards that direction and speaks. As you know, as you can see, it is not as glamorous, but that is Startown. And watch your backs. Do not trust anyone. Stay away from dark alleys. There is always trouble there.
Sure thing, Mom. Tap him on his shoulder. All right, Yuri, let's go. I quickly retrieve my duffel bag from the trunk and
Yeah.
start walking towards the town of excitement.
I pick up my bag as well and follow him.
As you leave the vehicle, Odoy speaks. Well, I'll be heading to the public office. The best of luck.
Same to you.
Thanks.
And Odoy drives away.
I hope we did the right thing.
Well, either way, we can always get back to the ship and just blow this planet. That's halfway what I'm tempted to do at this point, but since we're so close, don't hurt to do a quick drop by.
Yeah.
A small robot approaches Yuri. The robot is dirty and even shakes from side to side. It has no legs, but wheeled mechanisms. And the robot speaks. Message for Yuri Sarkov, message.
I am Zarkov. Let me know.
The robot stops speaking, and a voice is heard. Distorted voice. So, how are you doing, Yuri? Yuri, don't play with me. I know you're listening to me right now.
What is this?
This is justice, Yuri. Justice related to your research. Did you enjoy my little gift when you first arrived to Regina, my pal, the robot that greeted you?
Hmm. Gift. What do you want?
There are more pleasant surprises. Yuri, I just want to see you dead. The voice stops speaking and the robot shuts down completely and remains motionless in the middle of the street.
What was that about, partner?
Bad news, apparently.
Sounds like it. These robots really like you, apparently.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting any more trouble, but apparently we got something more.
Well, I have a feeling we might be able to find out what's causing a lot of it. Hopefully, at least. You've definitely been a popular man.
Yeah.
I proceed walking into town, lighting a cigarette, and just taking in the air of the city.
The city looks very similar to the section of the other city that you have left behind, but it is dirtier. There's trash all over the place. There are individuals looking at everyone else as predators, as if they have some sort of opportunity to gain from attacking others. You can hear the sound of petty squabbles, insults exchanged, and there are many neon signs and a few dirty terminals, some of them with cracked screens.
Now,
Looks
this is
nice.
more like it. I proceed to walk to one of the dirty terminals, take my hand, dust off the screen, and look for any bars nearby.
The terminal reveals the location of the Bloody Finger bar, just a block from your position to the north.
Bingo. All right, Yuri. Let's go see what we can find out.
Not the bloody finger.
Ah, yeah. I continue to stumble down the street towards the bloody finger, weaving in and out of the pedestrians.
Making your way and feeling the stares of many individuals looking at you from all directions, but taking no action. You stand in front of the entrance of the bar that has an Old West styled double doors, swinging doors.
After you, sir.
I push the doors. I always wanted to do this.
The doors swing and a scene of debauchery is revealed. Many patrons enjoying all sorts of vices. And the bartender, a rough looking individual, long blonde hair, missing a right eye, cleaning one of the many mugs and glasses and tankards. He looks at you with his eye, doesn't even speak, and continues his job of wiping the glass.
I proceed to walk to the bar. 2 glasses.
So, what's your poison?
What would you like there, Yuri?
I look at the bottles.
There is an assortment of almost everything that you could imagine in such a place, but of brands of a cheaper quality.
I pick something not so strong because you never know in a place like this.
The man pulls out a bottle called the Emperor's Delight that is well known to have the properties that Yuri is searching for. Pours a bit on each glass, filling each glass, and speaks. Yeah, it's going to be 6 credits for both.
Ah, not a problem. Just keep it coming.
The man speaks. You're really not from around here, are you?
That
Oh,
noticeable,
you
huh?
could guess that.
And what brings you to this part of town?
Hoping to find a little excitement. Maybe to some Saul.
Ah, are you looking for work perhaps?
Always looking for work.
Have you heard of winter shipping?
Winter shipping. Yes, yes.
I heard that they are currently looking for individuals that know how to be professional and not ask too many questions.
Sounds like that's our description and to a T.
Well, you can actually find it 3 blocks from here. There are some signs pointing to it. It's a very popular place for promising individuals.
Indeed. Well, thank you. Proceed to down the glass that's set in front of me. Well, Yuri, what do you think about all this with poor Vlyn?
I think we got ourselves into trouble.
The bartender overhears you and speaks. Glenn, perhaps do you mean Glenn Beckett?
Oh, of course. You know Vlyn too?
Everybody knows Vlan.
He used to come here quite a bit, yes. And he also used to go to winter shipping.
Oh, of course he did. Did you happen to notice? Has he ever come through with any other friends? By the way, we're both good friends of his as well. Great guy.
He usually used to come here with a red-headed guy. He looked a bit weaselly. Very
Eh,
thin guy, red hair.
Yeah, he's kind of scummy, but what can you do? Has he been in lately? Have you seen him? We saw Vlyn recently, but I hadn't seen the red haired dude.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but word on the street is that Glenn got killed.
No.
Yes, some say that it was probably an inside job.
Uh,
Mm.
Uncle Vlyn. We're definitely going to need a couple of these bottles. This is terrible news.
Well, you know what? I like you too. The drinks are on the house for you too.
Oh, what a gentleman. Thank you. Thank you. I knew we should come here.
Hmm.
In fact, if you decide to visit winter shipping, tell Marid that Peter has sent you.
Uh, will do. Will do. I don't guess Pallid Norm gets to this side of town.
No, no, that old fool. He's too worried about his reputation.
I lean against the bar and just kind of look at all the patrons.
The many individuals around are enjoying their drinks. Um, some of them are busy enjoying the company of both men and women, and none seem to be paying too much attention to the two of you.
I have my drink. Finish it.
And so it is done.
I take a moment and think to myself, remembering where the alien was located.
Trenton remembers that exceedingly discreet is one of the contacts associated with Harlan. And Trenton remembers that the password 17 tons of flax must be given to talk to exceedingly discreet.
So do you want to try to find the discrete alien?
I think that'd be a good idea at this point. I'm feeling a little better. Perhaps another glass, please.
Yes, sure. An explosion is heard just outside the building. The bartender almost drops the bottle and the glass, and a commotion is heard. The bartender speaks. Well, we certainly have our share of explosions, but what was that?
You mean it doesn't happen all the time over here?
At least not as strong as that one.
Mm,
Oh, good to know. This seems to be problems.
it's like there's a black cloud following you, Yuri. I stand from the stool and start walking towards the door.
I hope it's not my fault.
I glare outside, just kind of trying to see what the commotion is.
Trenton notices a group of people huddled around to the left side of the street.
I proceed to walk towards the commotion.
I go to.
As Trenton and Yuri approach the cause of the chaos, they can see two corpses on the ground, almost completely charred, but based on the way that they were dressed, at least the remains of the clothing that is not completely burned or carbonized or burned to a crisp, it is quite obvious that the two bodies are Odoi and the attacker.
Oh no.
And you can overhear a man speaking. So yes, I saw this car, fancy looking car, and he just threw both bodies there. And after 20 seconds or less, the explosion happened. It was crazy. And a woman speaks. Well, you never know if you step out of line, if you get someone angry in these parts. Sometimes that's the end of it. I've seen it before, especially when it comes to you know who. Another man's replies. Oh, so perhaps it was Jasha again. Yeah, definitely, it must have been Jasha. And the session concludes. The end of the session. So, how was it? What do you think?
I feel like we're
It's
slowly peeling back the layers of the onion.
yeah. I was. I don't think we found out much more about this. We found out more strange stuff, more enigmas, I guess. Yeah,
It's
I
like
don't.
the answers are eluding you, right? At the very
Yes, but
least, you have
it doesn't feel
obtained.
like we are advancing.
Hmm. Like you found the information about the exceedingly discreet alien, possibly. Hmm.
Very interesting.
And now that you have obtained a bit more like information, do you have your is your initial theory still in line, or do you think there is some other type of thing going on?
I think so. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure it's still in that
there are
zone at
more
least.
layers, but yeah, probably the same thing behind it. It's just adding some more layers to the enigma.
I think that the battle sequence was handled really good. That is the
And
tactical
no one
setup.
died. No one
No
died.
one
No
died,
one
and
died.
especially good for Traveler. Did your armor stop most of the damage,
Yeah,
or
all of it. Yeah,
all of it?
yeah,
That is excellent.
yeah. I
Well,
still wanted to
the
kind of, you know, take into
mhm.
account that I was hit, but
The choices taken, like taking cover and looking outside of the window and like waiting for a moment without rushing out, just like like an idiot, like ah. They were like,
Yeah,
I think
it's
it
not
was
the game
very
for that. But
tactical. Very tactical. I also think it was great that Miguel, that you decided to as Yuri to look at your other weapon, and that you realized that you can actually reactivate it. Yes, because sometimes they tell you, well, all the devices are off, but but Miguel was like, Wait a minute, let me
I
check and
didn't
see this."
I didn't have anything else but laser, so it would be a problem.
A laser solve everything. Laser solve.
I guess.
or
Yeah, that
bombs
was good.
apparently.
Yeah,
And
bombs.
and what do you think about these deaths of Odoy and well, the other guy was already dead, but what do you
Yeah,
think?
We
he died
won't
a
talk
little
about
bit.
that, but
Mm.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Um, it's unfortunate. Makes you wonder, if we would have went the other route, obviously, and just went to the ship, maybe we could have saved
Mhm.
for Adoy. But
Yes, there are
one,
those crucial moments where like the action taken will decide the fate
that's
of
right.
some of the characters.
He could have been useful, of course, but well, now he won't be.
Yeah, essentially, I guess we don't really have any contacts here on the planet now. He was
Well,
kind
you
of
do
our
have some,
go-to.
but they are not like very trustworthy, right? Like you
Exact.
have to
Well,
ignore
yeah.
him and like.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
That one seemed to be trustworthy. The other
And
one definitely not.
the hostile guy, Robert.
Yeah, Robert. We
Apparently,
still got Robert.
we still have Robert, right?
I'm not sure how dependable he is,
Yes,
but
probably. Probably not much.
Hmm. Well, thank you again, Josh and Miguel for playing. And do you have any like feedback if you think like, oh, if you could describe this better or something?
Not that I mean, remember anything.
no,
Ah,
I think
perfect.
this one actually, it seemed to me at least to kind of flow better even than the last section.
Ah, yeah.
It was kind of a smooth. So
Yes, that's the good thing about Traveler because when it comes to the battle scenes, you don't have to be like as precise as some other RPGs. You just have to give like a general description. But you're not going to be like looking at the map like, oh, do you see this space in the map? It's
Yeah.
suspicious. Maybe there is a secret passageway or something like that.
I'm not used to that, so it feels natural like this.
Okay. Well, thanks to everyone watching us. Um, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. And definitely check out the Red Room Publishing. I'm very interested because they are constantly bringing out more games, especially the micro red category of games. If you are just starting to play tabletop RPGs, that's your way into it, into the hobby with a streamlined system. So once again, thank you all. This has been your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop RPGs, You are not telling stories about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you all. I'm going to stop the recording in 10 seconds.